Hello. So we're going to be reading the next book in the book 3, or The Tale of Miggery Sow. Okay, so we're going to learn about Mig. Chapter 24, A Handful of Cigarettes, a Red Tablecloth, and a Hen. Again, reader, we must go backward before we can go forward. With that said, here begins a short history of the life and times of Miggery Sow, a girl born into this world many years before the mouse, Despereaux, and the rat, Chirarose girl, a girl born far from the castle, a girl named for her father's favorite prize-winning pig. Miggery Sow was 6 years old when her mother, holding onto Mig's hand and staring directly into Mig's eyes, died. "Ma," said Mig, "Ma, couldn't you stay here with me?" "Oh," said her mother, "who is that? Who is that holding my hand?" "It's me, Ma, Miggery Sow." "Oh, child, let me go." "But I want you to stay here," said Mig, wiping first her runny nose and then her runny eyes. "You want," said her mother. "Yes," said Mig, "I want." "Ah, child, what does it matter what you are wanting?" said her mother. She squeezed Mig's hand once, twice, and then she died, leaving Mig alone with her father, who, on a market day in the spring, soon after his wife's death, sold his daughter into service for a handful of cigarettes, a red tablecloth, and a hen. And I know it's been a while since I've read, but see if you can remember somebody that had a red tablecloth before. "Papa," said Mig, when her father was walking away from her with the hen in his arms, a cigarette in his mouth, and the red tablecloth draped across his shoulders like a cape. "Go on, Mig," he said. "You belong to that man now." "But I don't want to, Papa," she said. "I want to go with you." She took hold of the red tablecloth and tugged on it. "Lord, child," her father said, "and who is asking you what you want? Go on." He untangled her fingers from the cloth and turned her in the direction of the man who bought her. Meg watched her father walk away, the red tablecloth billowing out behind him. He left his daughter. And reader, as you already know, he did not look back, not even once. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine your father selling you for a tablecloth, a hen, and a handful of cigarettes? Close your eyes, please, and consider it just for a moment. Close your eyes. Done? I hope that the hair on the back of your neck stood up as you thought of Mig's fate and how it would be if it were your own. Poor Mig, what will become of her? You must, frightened though you may be, read on and see for yourself. Reader, it's your duty. Before I go on to the next chapter, I know some of you guys are maybe upset with your parents because they won't let you go outside and play, or they won't let you maybe have an extra cookie out of the pantry. Um, think about Mig and what she's gone through. So next time you think your parents are being mean to you because they say, "No, you can't go play out in the street," they're just being worried about you and caring about you. Okay, so here is chapter 25, A Vicious Circle. Miggery Sow called the man who purchased her uncle, as he said she must, and also, as he said she must, Mig tended Uncle's sheep and cooked Uncle's food and scrubbed Uncle's kettle. She did all of this without a word of thanks or praise from the man himself. Another unfortunate fact of life with Uncle was that he very much liked giving Meg what he referred to as a good clout to the ear. In fairness to Uncle, it must be reported that he did always inquire whether or not Meg was interested in receiving the clout. Their daily exchange went something like this. This is Uncle. Uncle. I thought I told you to clean the kettle. Mig. I cleaned it, Uncle. I cleaned it good. Uncle. Ah, it's filthy. You'll have to be punished, won't ye? Mig. Gore, Uncle. I cleaned the kettle. Uncle. Are ye saying I'm a liar, girl? Mig. No, Uncle. Uncle. Do ye want me? Do ye want a good clout to the ear then? So that's where they're saying he's asking her. Is he really asking her? No, he's going to do it anyways, whether she says no or not. Mig. No, thank you, Uncle. I don't. Alas, Uncle seemed to be as entirely unconcerned with what Mig wanted as her mother and father had been. The discussed clout to the ear was always delivered, I'm afraid, with a great deal of enthusiasm on Uncle's part and received with an absolutely no enthusiasm at all on the part of Mig. Those clouts were alarmingly frequent, and Uncle was scrupulously fair in paying attention to both the right and left side of Midgery Sow. So it was that after a time the young Mig's ears came to resemble not so much as ears as pieces of cauliflower stuck to either side of her head. And that's actually true. It's called cauliflower ear. And a lot of fighters have that. Boxers, MMA fighters can start to get that too. When they're hit too much on the side of their head and their ears, they get like these bumps and their on their ears, and their ears start to look like a piece of cauliflower. Not very great. And they also became about as useful to her as pieces of cauliflower. That is to say, that they all but ceased their functioning as ears. Words for Mig lost their sharp edges, and then they lost their edges altogether and became blurry, blankety things that she had a great deal of trouble making sense out of at all. The less Mig heard, the less she understood. The less she understood, the more things she did wrong. And the more things she did wrong, the more clouts to the ears she received. And the less she heard. That means she was going deaf from getting hit in her ears so much. And Miggery Sow was right in the center of it. This is known what is a vicious circle. And Miggery Sow was right in the center of it, which is not, reader, where everyone would want to be. But then, as you know, what Miggery Sow wanted had never been much of a concern to anyone. So poor girl, I feel so bad for her. She wasn't treated, her mom was dying, and she really wasn't feeling sad for her daughter, that her daughter was going to be left without a mother. And her dad didn't want to take care of her, so he sold her to a man who used her as a slave and beat her, hit her ears all the time to where it deformed her ears, made her ears look like cauliflower, and made her deaf. So she was not having a good life for Mig, right? So remember, next time your parent tells you no, it's for your own good, all right? So give your parents a big hug and kiss for taking such good care of you and loving you. All right. Have a wonderful day. I'm not sure when you're watching this. If you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, or evening. But have a wonderful time. Always remember that I'm here and that I love you. Goodbye.